Now, let's talk about some mathematics. So, Herodotus does talk about this, the origin of geometry. And the geometry is a very important branch of mathematics, and its knowledge made a lot of things possible in the world. So, according to the story Herodotus is told, is that King Sesostris, or Pharaoh Sesostris of Egypt, who was like the second or third according to what the priest at the temple in Thebes knew. After he had gone, in the previous video I did talk about him going out, conquering Asian parts of Europe and leaving behind a section of his army in what we know today as Georgia, who became the tribe of Colchians. So when he came back home, one of the things he did is subdivide the land and give each citizen a piece of plot, and these plots were in square, like they were square in shape. And so each citizen was given a square plot. It doesn't say the size exactly, just say plots, that square plots. And now each citizen, after getting that piece of land, was expected to pay an annual rent to the king. And now that, you see, much of the arable land in Egypt was just next to the river, because after all, the watering of the plants could only happen through the overflow of the river. So everybody farmed next to the river. Now, after everyone has received this square plot, there was an issue, because when the river overflows, then erosion happens. And when erosion happened, some people ended up losing some parts of their plots. But the king was a fair king. He decided he doesn't want anybody to feel like they are paying more than they need to pay in rent. So what he did, if your piece of plot was eroded away, you went to the king and explained what happened to the king, and the king will send some of his experts to go and measure the land and then calculate how much rent you're supposed to pay at the end of the year. And through this practice, these people who are being sent out to look at this plot, decide the part that was eroded is of this size, then that means that you've lost this much piece of land. That means that you're going to pay this size of, or this amount of rent. It's out of that practice that geometry came to be discovered. And Herodotus says it's after that the Greeks acquire that knowledge from the Egyptians. But of course, there are other sources don't support that. And we have to bear in mind that this is a story that Herodotus was told at the temple at Thebes, and he was told this story by Egyptians. So there's a likelihood, of course, the Egyptians wanted to portray themselves as the smartest. They used to think of themselves as the smartest people in the world. So even if maybe they got this knowledge from elsewhere, it's possible. I don't want to say they lied, but maybe over time they made themselves believe that they were the original, the people who discovered geometry first.